video number one. I've never done this kind of stuff before. But hey, here I am. 46 years ago, I started my first job at a sawmill. I think I was making $5.50 an hour as a tail sawyer. We mainly did railroad ties. Okay. I don't know if anybody's ever lifted a railroad tie or not, but I had to unload them off the end of the sawmill onto a truck by myself. And I was 14 years old. That was my very first job. I have a lot of memories about it for some reason. Maybe because it was my first job. I don't know. But I keep thinking about that stuff when I see this new day and age of 2026, where people just don't want to work, and I don't quite understand why. I think I have an inkling of the reasoning, but I do believe it has something to do with social media, TikTok and all the others. You know, I don't have a TikTok, so I don't know what that is, but for the most part, I kind of see videos here and there. But anyway, people these days, and I'm just going to say people because, you know, everybody's different. So I don't want to say kids, because a lot of the times it's not even kids, it's young adults that don't want to work. Even adults in their 30s. I don't quite understand it. I've worked all my life. I'm 60 years old now. I've made it through 4.5 decades of work. And very, very, very few times have I been unemployed. I've always had something to go to. Throughout the years, I've gained knowledge of heavy equipment operating, excavator, dozer, skid steer, whatever. And now I own my own business. It's a small business. It's not a big revenue maker or anything like that. But I've worked for people throughout my life where I learned from the owner a lot. And that is the reason I started my business, because I felt like I had the knowledge base to go forward with starting my own LLC business. It's definitely different from just going to work every day to work for the man, or whatever you want to call it. But a job and your own business is two totally different things. You can do things at work with a job where you don't feel like the pressure that you feel when you own your own business. In other words, you can just pretty much relax and get through your day, and if you have a bad day, you're still going to get paid. When you have your business, though, if you have a bad day, it's I don't want to say catastrophic, but it can really put a damper on the whole mechanism, because them bills are going to keep coming in. still got to pay for your fuel bill and your operating costs, payroll if you have it. I'm by myself now, but I would like to bring on somebody. The problem is finding that somebody, and we're getting back to the point of getting people that actually want to work. It's very hard to find anyone that is wanting to work. They want a paycheck, don't get me wrong, they want to get paid, but they don't want to work for it. They feel like they're, I don't know, just want to skate by and barely do anything and still get a paycheck. Well, I was not raised that way, and anybody that knows me or knows my father knows I was not raised that way. He pushed us boys pretty hard. There was 3 of us, and he taught the work ethic that I have. So, with that being said, I think it boils down to work ethic is not taught anymore. Moms and dads, you know, they don't want to push their kids to understand why work is important, and why earning $1 versus getting $1 is so different. They need to teach them that. You have to have that drive in yourself to get yourself to that point where you want work ethic, you want to proceed in life wanting to strive for more, you know. I'm not rich by any means, shape, or form. I'm comfortable. I'm not real comfortable like I want to be, but I'm comfortable. And I'm working on trying to get real comfortable. And the only way to do that is to have that want to do that strive to become more successful, more able to retire, or more able to just enjoy life a little bit more. But it's just down to the ethics of work, and I don't think it's being pushed onto the children, and I'm going to say within the last 20 years it has gotten really bad, finding people that just want to work and want to learn and want to earn. It's just very hard to find people like that these days, and it's just so much different. When I started working summer job at the sawmill, it was instilled to me that I had to keep up with the saw. The saw is going to bring me railroad ties, and I had to take the slabs off, pile them up, put the ties on a truck, like I said, all by myself. So, and it was a challenge. It was a great challenge. It was something that I wanted to get better at. So, and I tell you, the first week, I can remember it was the summer of 81, I want to say 1981, somewhere in there. Maybe it was in 1980, but it was rough. And I'm talking about, I was young now. I was 14, so my body was, still developing, but I was very athletic and all that stuff. So boy, was I sore that first week. But you know what? The second week, I felt better. Third week, I was just right into the routine of doing what I needed to do. Started to really enjoy work. Started to really enjoy getting a paycheck for that work. And I was so proud that I could buy my own school clothes that year. I was very proud of that. And that's what I'm saying. There's just very little work ethic being pushed into our younger generation. Even the generation before that. Just very, very low turnout when it comes to work ethic. And it's a shame. Like I said, this is my first video. Thought I'd try it, see how it works out. Thank y'all. I appreciate you, and maybe I'll see you soon.